All right. How's this
Hello.
sound? Hey.
Hey, man.
Sounds sufficient. All right. I'm not forgetting.
So how you guys been?
Good.
I had coffee spilled at me at McDonald's today. Spilled on me at McDonald's.
Oh, God. Are
They
you
handed
suing?
No, I wasn't burned as bad as that lady was. They handed it to me in the drive-thru and the lid wasn't on, and it just started pouring out all over my hand. And I'm holding it, and it hurt for like a solid hour, and then finally it's starting to go away now.
Wow.
But I mean, I don't have a mark or anything, so it couldn't be too bad. But and my son got
make
stuck.
sure you're recording right now. This is evidence.
Oh, I am.
You got this.
We're live on YouTube. My son got stuck in one of those conveyor belts at a grocery store a couple weeks before that, so he's got a nasty burn on his hand. So hopefully, between Hy-Vee and McDonald's, I can sue them enough to pay off the company I'm trying to buy.
You got
All right. So, in terms of next week, Sean, do you have a preference?
Not really. I don't. I've been trying to think of something. And I just haven't. I'm not inspired by either of those two choices either.
They're too obvious and kind of homeworky.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Oh, and then I talked about this a while ago, but I did a podcast with another guy. He asked if we did a cross promotion thing where we aired both of them on both of our streams. Would you be okay with that or not?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. You guys ready to go then?
Did you find the review that was done?
Always.
There was Jeff, but love you, Jeff. Don't get me wrong, but he did review us.
I didn't see it on Apple.
I don't know. He didn't say where he did it.
Was it good?
Let's see if I can find it real quick before we go live.
Just like a 1-star review. It's like, damn you boys. Not enough Gremlins 2.
You don't get the free movie with a 1-star review.
That's right. If we can't find it right away, then he's disqualified.
I don't think it actually happened. I think he's lying.
Yeah, the rules do say you have to tell us that you did it and send it to us.
Did he say what his screen name was?
No.
We got one on Apple Wednesday.
Okay, that's probably it.
All right, and it doesn't reference his name at all, so. All right.
Timing wise, it sounds right.
All right, so you guys ready?
Yeah.
Again, you're not going to hear the music, so just be patient with me when I'm pausing awkwardly. You too, YouTube. All right, here we go.
It's okay. I think my internet's pretty jacked up over here.
All right, and hitting record now. Welcome to the Everyone's a Critic movie review podcast. I'm your co-host, Bob Zerl. With me, as always, is professional film critic Sean Patrick, and our special guest this week is Zach Covemaker. How you doing, Zach?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing good. A little sore. Got some coffee poured on me today. Repeating the story for our podcast listeners. Anyway, Been telling it all day long. So McDonald's, I was at McDonald's, got a coffee. They handed to me, the lid wasn't on, and I squeezed it, and it was a poor young girl who felt so bad. So
then you got her fired?
Nope, I didn't.
I hope.
I was very polite, crying on the inside. I mean, I was in pain. It hurt really bad for a long time, but it eventually went away.
Should have been crying.
I guarantee you she never does it again. She was horrified and felt awful. So we're all good.
All right. I worked customer service a lot. I spilt a lot on customers. I kept fucking doing it by mistake. It happens.
Yeah, I used to
sometimes they get icy on their hands. Oops.
You can visit our show at ihatecritics.net, everyone'scriticpodcast.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our handle is CriticsPod. You can listen to us at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Alexa, all your podcatchers. We're also on YouTube. If you give us a rating of 5 stars or better, you have a shot to win a couple movies. If you go to our social media pages, you'll see the details pinned to the top of the page. But while we're at it, Sean, why don't you explain what the
movies are Deliver Us from Evil and The Last War of Archimedes, which is the story of the largest battleship in world history being sunk. Both are quite good movies. I've not reviewed either one, but I've been written about them. They're both very, very interesting films, and we've got them on Blu-ray. So if you collect Blu-rays, it's a great opportunity for you.
And even if you just want to watch it once and then give it to the Goodwill or whatever, it's still free if you give us a 5-star review. We did get a review this week from Skywalker with 2 Y's and 2 R's. The title is The Best! ! My favorite movie review podcast. So yeah, your review can be as simple as that, or it could just be something funny we said on the show. It doesn't matter, but put 5 stars in there and get yourself entered to win one of those Blu-rays.
That particular winner is getting a copy of The Unholy, which is I posted that one specially just on its own, and that was the first review that jumped in.
Awesome. We are live on YouTube whenever we record, either Sunday mornings or Monday nights, depending on our schedules. If you want to, normally I post a link. I forgot to do that tonight, so oh well. But if you want to watch there, head over to check out. Let's go to our YouTube page there on Monday night about 8 p.m. Central Time. If you're in India, I apologize. Get up really early. I think a lot of our listeners are there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do you much good unless you want to watch this in the middle of the night. But they are saved there if you want to watch them anytime. What was that?
They got to be dedicated enough to want it.
Patreon.com/criticspod is the best way to help support the podcast. And then our TeePublic page. If you want some of our merch, head over to ihatecritics.net and click on the TeePublic link. Let's go ahead and share my screen for the YouTube viewers and start talking about our movies this week. And we will start with Fast 9, the Fast Saga. Usually when you're making fun of a movie, you're like, oh, Rocky 7 or Rocky 9. But here it is, Fast and the Furious 9.
F9 returns many of your favorite Fast cast members, especially, of course, Vin Diesel, who's Dominic Toretto is now happily living on a farm with his girlfriend Letty and his little boy, little Brian. And he seems like he's relatively content there. But then his friends show up and they've found out that Mr. Nobody, Kurt Russell, has been maybe killed in a plane crash, and he needs them to go down to South America and find the plane and recover the thing that's going to take over the world. I mean, this is the plot to any major movie, but a dozen different action movies, but it's just so fast that they have this plot. They get to the South America stuff. I mean, the action sets are just spectacularly idiotic in the best possible way. There's a car that goes flying off a cliff and gets caught by a plane with magnets. So then Dom drives his car off a cliff and catches what's left of a rope swing and uses it to swing the car across a giant gorge. It's so stupid, and I love it so much. And it finds ways to get dumber and louder throughout. And adding John Cena is just the perfect energy for this. John Cena plays he plays Vin Diesel's brother. I don't know why that's so funny, but it is. It's very funny. 9 movies, they introduce a brother that he's never talked about before. This is just the most fast thing ever. And of course, nobody.
He was kicked out.
Nobody. I'm sorry. I can't. I love it too much, almost. This movie is wonderfully terrible in the best possible ways. It's so goofy and idiotic. Everything makes no sense. John Cena is flying around some British city in the air by one arm, just over rooftops for however many minutes. It's just like, what the hell is even happening right now? Oh man, it's just all so dumb, and nobody can die. And I'm really fascinated by this aspect. Nobody can die. There's a scene where Tyrese actually begins to acknowledge the fact that nobody in this universe can die, and he starts to think that maybe they're all superheroes. And it's just the most wonderfully, like, there's a screenwriter who's trying to just sitting in his room trying to explain, no, they're not superheroes, but they're thinking about it, so they've acknowledged it. So you see, we acknowledge that this is ridiculous, right? So we're on your level. No, you're not. You're a screenwriter trying to paper over stupidity. I understand. It's okay. But I love that there's that aspect of this, that you can now start building a superhero canon for F9, which is just fantastic. And they go to space. This stupid movie goes to space. I love it.
It's a time. If that's all we get, that's like the only snippet we get of like going to space, I'm gonna be real sad. Like blue balling me a little bit. I need to see him fight an alien. I need to see him like drive the car onto the moon and like drop kick an alien or something. Like that's it for me. Like that's.
They have to drive on Mars at some point.
I hope. God damn it! If Tyrese ends up driving like the Curiosity rover, and like Ludacris is like making like shit potatoes or some shit like that, I'm in.
It's so awful. It's so wonderful. I mean, it's the dumbest franchise. It's the dumbest franchise in the world, and I think I love it because of that. Because I so often, I spend all my life thinking about things way too much, and oftentimes that's very entertaining. We're going to get into that later with Bad Lieutenant, but it's nice to have this respite of things that I don't have to think about. Even the Marvel universe, you've got to spend some time on it. You've got some homework to do that you have to remember to make that stuff work. And to capture the richness of it. Like with Loki, I love Loki, but you've got to be able to capture the richness of it. You do have to do a little bit of homework. Fast 9, you don't need to see the other movies. Nothing that's happened before matters. It's just big, loud, dumb, stupid explosions, and these characters taking everything incredibly seriously. It's like it is professional wrestling as a movie, and that's why I love it so much.
Yet they found a way to piss off the most likable guy in Hollywood by taking themselves too seriously on set.
Yeah.
Well, John Cena's pissed off at him too. We'll see.
He is? What?
No. I said, how many more movies until he is? I mean, you've never heard anybody say a bad word about The Rock until he was in the Fast movies.
He doesn't understand the concept of family, Bob.
But you've heard like Vin Diesel's talking about how he's purposely trying to piss him off so he can get the right performance. It's like, fuck you, you're in a Fast movie. No, just do your job and quit trying to be. This isn't. I mean, look at that picture. That's not him. He thinks he's in a real movie.
Oh, the man has no concept. He has absolutely no understanding of himself. Have you ever heard his music? Have you heard Vin Diesel's songs? He has no concept of himself. He is completely absent of any type of ability to see outside of himself.
He's Hasselhoff. He's a modern day Hasselhoff. He has no idea. He doesn't understand what's going on, but he's literally fucking Hasselhoff.
He truly is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He should have been in Baywatch. That would have been a better movie.
God.
I was going to say
a sequel
with success, but
I
don't know. I can't.
Seagal is success. He taught Anderson Silva the front kick. Don't forget that.
I mean,
he invented
success. I don't know. I can't do it. I'll take Hitman's Bodyguard any day over this. I prefer the fun dialogue. I don't know. This is just too much nonsense for me. Clearly, and there's like 9 of them, or 10 if you count Hobbs and Shaw. So,
there's 8 of them. We don't count Tokyo Drift.
Oh, Tokyo Drift is awesome. Screw you, man. Okay, Tokyo Drift rules. I love Tokyo Drift.
This motherfucker, man. I hate his voice. I hate his voice so much. Like, I hate that's his real voice. I hate it so much.
I love Tokyo Drift.
I hate the fact that people I love are in these movies, wasting their time. Like Charlize Theron needs to be making other movies. Kurt Russell needs to be making other movies. The Rock needs to be making other movies. Even John Cena needs to be making other movies. The rest of the family, whatever the fuck, I don't give a shit. But Charlize Theron's probably the biggest badass in Hollywood, and she's wasting her time in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Look at that hair.
She's having fun,
that boy, that's fresh.
She's probably the only one who knows what she's in.
Yeah.
Anything else on Fast 9?
I'm just saying, I fucking loved it too, Sean. I had such a great time watching it. That was the first time seeing an X movie, like since before the plague. Like holy shit, that was fun. I was sad though that I was the only person in the theater laughing my ass off the entire time.
Like, it is weird, right? The people who take this seriously are very strange human beings. Because I was like the only one laughing at my screening too.
It's stupid. Like that scene, like a slight spoiler, but there's a scene pretty early on where you're like, oh no, is Dom gonna die? And it's literally shot the exact same way that Tupac died in All Eyes on Me. And it's corny as fuck, and I laughed my ass off. I laughed my fucking ass off.
There's like a 3-minute dream sequence while he's underwater. Like, dude, you're already dead.
Yeah, all he did was like make us want more Michael Rooker. Like it did nothing else. Also,
so
Michael
stupid.
Rooker's in this one, Bob. he's there. His name's Buddy.
And add him to the list of people I wish weren't wasting their time. So what do people like? Just the cars? I mean,
for me, it started with the cars for me, but it became just how. And it's been since Justin Lin took it over in after Tokyo Drift, and I think after Fate of the Furious, he's been in charge of this whole thing, and he has this brilliant imagination. It's like in a weird way, it's kind of like Saw movies where he keeps coming up with some new ridiculous thing, this new spin. And now Saw was really smart, and what they did was rather ingenious. People don't recognize it, but this is just somebody who comes up with, like, he's listening to the fans going, well, the fans are laughing at me taking him to space. Let's take him to space. You know, the fans think this is stupid. Wait till they find out what I've got up my sleeve next. And I just love the audacity of it. I love how outrageous it is. He keeps coming up with something even crazier each time out. And I'm just like, ever since the Burj Khalifa car jump, I've just been all in on this. It's so stupid, and it's so laughing in the face of physics. I can't get enough of it.
That jump straight up won me back because I was like pretentious as fuck and I quit watching them. I accidentally watched that movie in Missouri. And as soon as that happened, I was like, I'm so wrong. I went back, I watched like 4 or 5, fell in love, have not looked back. I love it. This is like gospel for me. Like when we have kids eventually, I'm not teaching them the Bible. I'm teaching about family and Coronas.
There's
they're gonna
there's
have a great
fucking
time.
lore. This movie has lore. I love that. There's fucking lore in this movie.
But didn't you guys say you're in the minority when you're in the theater watching it? Like,
absolutely.
So what are the rest of the people like? Are they still just into the
idea.
cars?
I truly don't get it. I think there's a lot of
America.
I think there's a lot of Vin Diesels in the world.
But then it goes in those groups. We've got to kind of get it. I mean, I don't. It's not logical to me. Either that or it's a paycheck, I suppose.
Nah, man, have you
He would have
movies?
to be Andy Kaufman.
He's not
The
that.
Riddick movies, yeah.
I hate the Riddick movies. I know I'm a minority in that too. Maybe I just don't like Vin Diesel.
I'm right there. I like Pitch Black. After that, nah, I'm good.
I kind of like the other one.
See, I hated Pitch Black so much I didn't watch the other ones.
I kind of have a feeling about Vin and this whole franchise, kind of like I do Tommy Wiseau and The Room and Best Friends 1 and 2. Like, he doesn't understand how weird this all is. He doesn't seem to. There's this poignant quality to him that just he doesn't seem to know that this is funny, and that makes it funny for me.
At least with the Room. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, at what point though, like legitimately, all joking aside, at what point do we start putting Dominic Toretto in the same category as like Rambo and John McClane? Like, he's had better movies than those, both of them.
Well, no, he hasn't.
Like, when did we start?
He's had better movies than their worst.
He's never made one good movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least you got two Rambo movies and
though, and
two Die Hard movies.
Like 2/3 of the Die Hard.
And there's still, if you have to multiply them by 2 to get to as many Fast movies.
Bruce Willis on half speed is twice the guy that Vin Diesel is. Because he's got more of a presence. He's a better actor. This character is not iconic. He doesn't stand apart from the franchise. Without the franchise, there's Dominic Toretto can't be taken out of this context and put it anywhere else.
And I won't remember his name tomorrow. I only know it because you're saying Dom and Dominic. But I'll remember Rambo forever, and that's even if I hadn't watched. I mean, I think everybody would just. You don't have to have seen Rambo to know Rambo, or John McClane. That's easier, but
I don't know Tommy Wiseau's character
Dominic
from The Room.
Toretto.
I don't know his name, but
Tommy.
Johnny.
But at least with that, the audience is all on the same page.
Hey, this could be all mine. I'll be happy. I'll just sit there. I'll own this one. I was actually, honestly, legitimately looking at a Fast 9 poster series. It's like almost wall size because I love it so much. It makes me so happy.
Oh yay! I'm excited. We have 2 more coming, and then who knows how many Hobbs and Shaw movies? We've got way more. This isn't over. This is the beginning of a trilogy.
And then the tease of Shaw back in the universe was nice.
I'm down for this. Give me another Hobbs and Shaw movie with cyborgs and fucking Roman Reigns. I'm down.
Oh, the head of the table can't take second billing. I'm sorry.
Head on over to the table and get John Moxley involved. Movie.
Moxley can't act.
That fucking movie was a Cage Fighter or something like that.
So terrible.
That was a bad one.
That's
that
fine.
Was a bad one.
But how many of the people on this poster can act? I mean, they can, you know.
Like Ludacris is cool. Like he's good at playing Ludacris.
I mean,
Michelle Rodriguez is a good actress.
She's fine,
yeah,
and Charlize Theron's amazing. Everybody else, I mean, John Cena is John Cena, but everybody else is.
Paget Brewster's a good TV actress. Sung Kang's really charismatic.
Now you're getting well on the list, though.
Okay, just randomly thought of it, like something with this movie. Several times people get launched through the air, and this happens throughout like the whole series, but this happens many times in this movie. Someone gets launched through the air, and then Vin Diesel like nudges a car, like a nice soft car instead of concrete, and they land on it going like fucking like 100 miles an hour, and it keeps happening. Like there's one part where John Cena's flying through the fucking air, of course he is. He like just nudges a car, and the car flips and rolls and just catches them. It's so good.
He rolls
so
he rolls this giant truck, and then it rolls like 50 miles, just rolling over the top. It lands on its wheels. He turns it on and keeps going. So I was like, yes, this is great. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
It's
G.I. Joe. It's live action G.I. Joe, and it doesn't suck. It's wonderful.
It's cake. It's
so
eating
good.
an entire cake. Just if you love cake, this movie is cake.
Do you think that like the 40% of the people who won't get vaccinated, if COVID sticks around and wipes them all out, if they'll keep making these movies?
That's the thing. All right. My experience, the anti-vaxxers I deal with on many days, they fucking hate these movies.
Oh, fuck you.
So, there's got to be a weird Venn diagram where
I'm not saying all, but the ones I talk to are like, no, fuck that shit. They used to be about cars. Now you know what they're about.
So they at least used to like the early ones then?
Yeah, but
okay.
like, I mean,
it's a little too. It is very multicultural, so that does wipe out some of that.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, it's hard to say all these lives matter. I guess those guys are pretty rough.
All right. Anything else on the Fast Saga?
I love it, and I want more. I want to watch Fast 10 tomorrow.
Yep, can't wait.
Fatherhood, Kevin Hart on Netflix.
Yeah, Fatherhood stars Kevin Hart as a man whose wife dies not long after giving birth. He is then thrust into the role of single father, and ill-prepared, to say the least. Who would be prepared for that? The unfortunate thing is that Kevin Hart seems to want to make an interesting movie about this, and the movie keeps shoving in all this sitcom nonsense. And it's really weird. I went into this thinking that Kevin Hart was going to be the one who made this into sitcom nonsense, just kind of pulling things towards, doing jokes and coming up with bits. And the reality is it was the writing that did that. The writing keeps coming up with sitcom bits, and he's actually trying to do something interesting with this character, and it's really weird. Chris Weitz is the director here, who's constantly making this movie where he keeps trying so hard to make a populist film, a film that is for a wide variety of audiences as possible, and it comes at the expense of the ability to tell a real story anymore, because he's got to cram in all this fan service stuff, these jokes that everybody can get, so it's relatable to all audiences. And when you do that, when you're trying to service the audience constantly with bad jokes and familiar setups, then you're losing the heart of your film. And Kevin Hart, I felt, had the heart of this movie in mind. There are moments that are really rather brilliant in both comedy and drama that he's playing, but then the movie's got to interrupt him with more sitcom bullshit. And it's really unfortunate. It really makes me hate this movie.
Yeah, I mean, when you're trying to service everybody, you're definitely going to pull, the people that listen to this podcast or, more movie buffs out of a movie like this. But you're going to keep that Fast and Furious audience. So, I mean, I know so many people who aren't really into movies that love this movie, and it's just like, I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way.
And I had my experience, and I think I need to watch it again. I'm not going to, but it was weird. Like I was watching Kevin Hart try, and I had a hard time separating him trying versus the character, just letting it happen. And I was just like, wow, Kevin Hart's really trying to make this movie work, and it distracted me. And I'm sure on a second viewing, I would be able to enjoy his performance more. But you're right, the movie's not good enough to warrant a second viewing. so I'm probably out. I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just kind of disappointed in it. I suppose is more where I'm at. Did you see it, Zach?
Yeah, I went in with like super, super low expectations, and I watched this immediately after Fast 9, and
So
there might have been some Budweiser. Yeah, I had some Budweisers in my system, and I honestly really didn't hate the movie. I liked it more than I thought I would. I'm not gonna watch it again. It's definitely not my cup of tea. Kind of, yeah. Like I mean, I don't have kids. I haven't been in that situation, so I was kind of like really thinking that I could relate whatsoever. And like I said, I kind of enjoyed it. I like Rel. I like the bald guy because he was in Gotham, and he was awesome in that. But other than that, it was all right. Better than I thought, but I thought it was gonna suck.
Yeah, I appreciate Kevin Hart trying to do something different outside of the norm, but I enjoy his cadence generally. I enjoy his comedy, even when they're dumb. You know, I guess you can call them my Fast and the Furious movies, where I know they're not good movies, but he's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I can sit through them, and I mean, Jack Black, I guess is another one. I'm kind of like that too, where even if the movie's bad, I can just kind of enjoy the movie.
I kept getting tripped up over the series of contrivances, like about his job. Do you know what this guy's job was? Anybody have any idea? He's gonna go set up the office in Czechoslovakia or whatever the fuck. And it's like, what is that? What does any of that mean? And it just seems so forced. Like 1 minute, Paul Reiser is really supportive. He plays his boss in the movie. He's really supportive of him. Like, take all the time you need. Your wife died, whatever. Then he's like, why don't you just leave your child and move to Czechoslovakia for 30 days? And don't even think about your kid. Just let them take the kid. Like, which side are you on? Which character are you? He's whatever character the movie needs in the moment that they want it, because they need a plot contrivance. And that stuff just gets on my nerves really fast.
Didn't he write a book called Fatherhood or something like that?
Something like that.
I mean, I felt distracted the whole time, and again, I shouldn't dislike a movie because Kevin Hart's trying to do something outside of the box for him.
He's really good, though. That's the thing. It's like, he's really good in this.
But I'm saying, to me, I was caught up in watching him trying to be good, and I had a hard time just enjoying the performance. So I think I'd have to go back to watch it again to appreciate that more, but I'm not going to, because the rest of the movie is not good enough.
I did like I know this is a sentence that I'm about to say, but I did really like his acting in the scene where his wife died. That kind of surprised the shit out of me because it looked believable. It didn't look like corny, hokey shit. Like I was kind of expecting that when I saw the trailer and read the plot summary. I expected kind of corny ass Kevin Hart shit, but I kind of like that. I don't know.
No, you're right.
He kind of surprised me, but. Earlier when you were saying that Kevin Hart movies are your Fast and Furious movies, you're in luck, my friend. He's in Hobbs and Shaw. So
he exists in that universe. He is lore.
I think I have to watch him now.
I saw Hobbs and Shaw. Yep. My son made me go to it. And I saw the very first Fast and the Furious movie, and I don't know. I may have caught pieces of other. I'm just doesn't matter. I did like Hobbs and Shaw.
If you're gonna watch any of them,
we'll see. They already made me watch Lord of the Rings movies. You made me watch
Lord
of the Rings
and through a fucking city.
Harry Potter. All right. Did any of you watch Good on Paper?
I did. Netflix? I did watch this. This is a really good movie. Eliza Schlesinger wrote this film and stars in it as a woman who is a comedian, and she meets this guy who is not her type, but she kind of starts to go for him until things start to really go badly. This movie is really clever. It's weirdly clever. And Ryan Hansen is not my favorite actor. I don't really care for him. His performance has always come off as a little bit false to me. And I thought perhaps maybe she should have seen through him a little bit earlier, but she is so entertaining and she is such an interesting performer. She is so charismatic that I bought into everything that she was doing. Even if I didn't buy into him, I bought into her. And that's really what matters, is that this is about her and about her performance and about her comedy and her attitude. And that really comes through in the movie really well. She's really funny. I could do with somebody better than him and probably a better written character on his part. But overall, I liked what the movie was trying to say.
Did you know this is largely based on a true story?
What?
Yes.
No.
Which I think's part of why they hired him or cast it, because she wasn't attracted to the guy. I mean, most of this is true. She wasn't as famous in real life as she was in this movie. Like in this movie, you knew who she was, and people knew who she was as a performer. And I think when this happened, she wasn't quite as famous as the character in the movie. But yeah, and it's sad because when she told the story on a podcast, probably Joe Rogan, I didn't actually hear it. I just heard about it. Everybody came out and just started slut shaming her and saying you should have saw through it was just kind of all the typical guy thing, thinking, not feeling bad for her for falling for this guy who lied to her. But they became good friends for a solid year. And then the mom cancer thing happened. And they were genuine friends. So it just kind of, I don't know. And with the way Hollywood works is no one really hangs out at their house. They hang out at clubs, and especially comedians.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that you think you would have seen through, based on the story she told on the podcast, it kind of makes sense why it worked out that way. I don't know.
I think the beats of the movie didn't really nail. I think his performance really is not quite nailing what she was probably going for in terms of the reality of it.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only thing that really worked was the fact that when he takes his shirt off, which is clearly not him, basically looks like me. and that's kind of the only time you're like, well, clearly she wouldn't be into the person like this. And then she ends up being, but I don't know. I thought it worked.
That's another aspect too, though. And then he's a really handsome guy, and to have to to put the glasses and the bad haircut on him, it's almost like she's all that. Oh, she took her glasses off and now she's pretty. Like it's kind of that. And really buy into that. They might have found a different actor who could have found a better energy for this performance.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I enjoyed it. Otherwise, I thought it was really, really good. I don't think
you can't predict where it's going. You cannot predict where it's going, and I loved that aspect of it.
And I don't think it's the idea was based on true stories. I don't think the whole thing was 100% accurate, but I don't know. I just found it fascinating, and I've always kind of liked her. I like her cadence. I like some of the weird voices she does, and I thought it was cool to see her leading a movie as opposed to just being a extra or a third or fourth on the call sheet. I could see her being more of a star. I think she's that funny and that good at what she does. She might have to play herself a lot, but I don't know.
This was really funny. She's really compelling.
Yeah. All right, Rollers.
Yes, Rollers.
I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah, please do. Yeah,
sounds interesting. I don't really know much about the story or anything, so
it's on Netflix now. So
yeah.
Rollers stars Johnny Ray Gill as a man who owns a nightclub or a concert venue that's been in his family for years. It's actually been open for about 100 years, as they tell us in the movie. And it's been a cornerstone of the community, but it's also been losing money pretty much the entire time it's ever been open, because he's dedicated it, and his parents dedicated it to art that perhaps is not the most mainstream. And this is a movie that has multiple tracks to it in terms of the story that it wants to tell about what you do to make money versus doing what you love. And there's of course there's the alcoholism aspect, which is really interesting. This is a movie about an alcoholic that doesn't dwell on the fact that he's an alcoholic. He's in the midst of it, and sometimes people can function relatively well as an alcoholic. They spend every day drinking, but they're still doing relatively responsible things and getting by in life on a daily basis, even if all the signs are there. Like, all the signs are there with this guy that his life is in shambles, but he doesn't necessarily see it. And that's it's really incredibly well played by Johnny Ray Gill, who gives a terrific performance in this movie. It's such an offbeat story, and this is not the kind of story that people make mainstream movies about. And I really liked that aspect of it. I really liked him a lot. He was very compelling. And then he's surrounded by these characters who are all kind of doing their own movie, really. And that's really what life is like, is that everybody thinks they're the star of their own movie. And we happen to be following him most of the time, but you can sense that, like, there's a character played by Kevin Bigley who is just this weird dude, is this business manager. He'll pop into a scene and do something crazy. He's like off in an American Pie movie somewhere. Like he's just doing hangover movies. He's doing comedy that way, but he's not on screen very often, so he doesn't pull focus very often. Then he's got a love interest who has her own life completely, but she's also interested in him. He's got a backstory about his former bandmates. He gave up their band so he could run rollers, but he also gave it up right before they were about to be big. And there's a lot of resentment and heartache there between him and his former bandmate, who went on to become a big star. And also could be the performer that could save the venue if he could convince him to play. So there's a lot of things at play in this movie, and I really love everything about this movie. I thought it was terrific.
My favorite part about it is what you said earlier with everybody's in their own little movie, because that's what life really is. They're all doing their own thing. And everybody has that person in their lives where you're just like, you've had a million ways to get out of these problems you're having, and you keep making the wrong decision. And that's what this guy is. But you don't, in a lesser movie, you'd be like, well, I wouldn't do that. And you dwell on that kind of thing. And here you totally buy into the fact that he would make the decisions he makes, the resentments he has, whether he's wrong or not. You're not judging him. You're just watching him develop, or whatever the word is. You're just watching him live, I guess.
You're watching the guy who just constantly gets in his own way. And we all know that person. And
it's believable, it's real, and it's a fascinating movie. I'll take this over. I mean, a lot of movies I've seen this year. Really, it's one of the ones. It stands out as one of the better movies of the year so far for me.
It keeps getting better in my mind, to the point where it's kind of rising through the ranks of movies that I've loved this year. And for much of this past week, I've had the only review of this movie on IMDb. Really? Like, nobody's watching this. I posted my review on Twitter, and other critics are like, "Oh, what's that?" Like, oh,
it's got a really cool it's got a really cool poster too. It's just I think it's a movie that if you can get discussion going about it, like you said, it keeps growing, with how good it is. It's not one of the movies you watch and it just disappears out of your mind. It sticks with you, and the more you think about it, the more you talk about it, the more you like it. And I don't know what my favorite movie of the year is so far, but this one's definitely up there. It's very, very good.
It's still The Killing of Two Lovers for me, along with Giants Being Lonely and I Blame Society. But this one's like on that next level behind those three.
Yeah, I agree completely. Zach, are you going to say something? Nope.
Something?
All right.
Because oh no.
All right. Let's go to where am I at here?
God.
Bad Detectives.
Yes, Bad Detectives stars Drella Erkin and Freya Tingley as two young women who inherit a detective agency. Their fathers were working together as detectives for many years. They both died in the same murder plot, and they are gifted the detective agency and decide after a while that they were going to start to investigate their father's murders. They're doing so without any kind of, experience or ability to do that, which is an interesting premise, but it's not particularly well executed. The aesthetic of this movie is incredibly low budget. The setting is ugly. The cinematography is very dark, unnecessarily dark, I guess, to try and probably cover up how low rent it is, and really just nothing about it works. The lead actresses are compelling. They're beautiful, but they're just not enough there. And the plot is so it basically plays like an episode of CSI. Really, it's just a very, very low rent television style mystery that has a very obvious solution to it. And That's just not for me. So I don't recommend it. I don't think it's very good, and that's where I stand.
Yeah, it did inspire our classic a little bit. That in this movie, Lansky.
Yes, Lansky. It's a wonder to me that nobody's made a proper movie about Meyer Lansky. I know he's been a character in other movies. He popped up obviously in Bugsy, where I think it was Ben Kingsley got an Oscar nomination playing him. But really, nobody's ever taken the time to make a Lansky movie, and really, they didn't really take much time to make a Lansky movie here. It's really a shame. Harvey Keitel is delivering a career best performance, obviously, like right up there with Bad Lieutenant in as Meyer Lansky, who is this legendary gangster who finally decides to tell his story, and he chooses this author played by Sam Worthington, who is an invented character, and he gets this whole invented plot about a woman in his hotel who's on the run from drug dealers. She's played by Minka Kelly. The FBI are onto him and want him to spy on Lansky for them, and that becomes a whole plot, and it's just completely unnecessary because you're talking about a guy who was part of every major aspect of the mafia from the 30s all the way through the 60s. I'm pretty sure there's enough story in Meyer Lansky's life to just make a Meyer Lansky movie. You don't need Sam Worthington trying to protect Minka Kelly from the FBI and drug dealers. It's not necessary. Him and Keitel just sitting and talking in a restaurant is way more compelling than anything else that they do in the rest of the movie. And John Magaro plays Lansky in flashbacks, and he's quite good as well. It's a shame that they wasted that aspect of the movie. They somehow they weren't convinced that Meyer Lansky had enough story in his life to be the main story in his own movie. And that's really a weird choice.
When I was looking for posters for this, there is a movie called Lansky with Richard Dreyfuss as playing Lansky.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that one?
No. But that's why I say that there's never been a great Lansky movie, because nobody's even heard of that. Nobody knows that exists.
There are more posters for that than this.
Well, yeah.
But I almost grabbed one of those just to be funny. But yeah, that's a shame. But it did get us to this. I'm not going to play the music. Bad Lieutenant. Abel
Ferrara. He continues to be such an interesting director. He's so on and he's so off, and it's just so fascinating to watch. Harvey Keitel plays a New York police detective who is one of the worst human beings in the world. He's doing every drug. He's acting out in every way imaginable. He's just having the most meaningless, painful sex imaginable. He's just the soul sickness is it's cancerous. It's what it is. The man has reached such a level of hedonism that he can't find joy in anything, and that is fascinating to watch. Then when a nun is raped, and he's there to kind of catch part of the case, he becomes fascinated by her. And especially when she refuses to say who did it, and then she forgives them. And this throws him into a complete spiral, an almost despair, because if she can forgive the horrific things that these boys did to her, that is there a chance that he could redeem himself? And that is not something that he's sure he would want, or certainly not something he thinks he deserves. And that is just a fascinating movie. There's no plot. This just sort of happens. This is just a series of shit that happens that this guy does. And he's not looking to be redeemed, and he doesn't think he deserves it. And yet when it becomes possible, he's not happy about it. He just almost feels even worse somehow, which just makes it so interesting. And Keitel is incredible in this movie. He's so brave and courageous and weird, and he goes to very places that you just don't expect an actor like him to go to. The deconstruction of masculinity in this movie is fascinating. The way he strips naked at one point, and the way he sobs is a deconstruction of just basic masculinity. because he sobs in a way that is just not is so unconscious of everything. The only thing that's in that sob is despair. He doesn't care what anybody. He's lost the ability to understand whether anybody can be seeing him or not. And that's an amazing and not easy place to get to. I can imagine as an actor that had to be even difficult to get to that point. And that's really, this is a physical performance as well as an emotional one.
I had never seen this, and as soon as it was over, I instantly went to see who won the Oscar this year, and I was horribly disappointed.
Tell us, what was it?
Scent of a Woman.
Oh, good God. Are you kidding me?
Wasn't even nominated.
Wow.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, Unforgiven is still the best movie that year. Unforgiven is fantastic.
Yeah.
But everything else, it kind of pales in comparison to this. This is not only his best performance, but a lot better than a lot of other people's performances ever. I was amazed. It's so weird. Abel Ferrara, the way he makes movies is, you don't like. There's no plot, but even following the story, it's not like anybody's telling you what's happening. Stuff just starts happening.
Yeah,
and it's the way he films it is so stylized that you don't even need the transitions to get there. Just all of a sudden he's in a threesome. You don't know where it came from, and then it's over, and it almost feels pointless, but it's not. And he does it with every scene in the whole movie. They just kind of start and end, and there's no transition between the scenes. But when you start piecing it all together, it's just like all these stylized little scenes, and it flows and it makes sense. And it's just really neat. Miss 45 was kind of like that too.
An amazing movie.
Yes. It's, and
yet he made King of New York. How does this? He's such a weird director.
But I get it, because King of New York kind of does it. It didn't work for me as much. It almost was too pop. I don't know if that's the right word.
Too mainstream. Yeah. Too simple.
Yeah. And I mean, in hindsight, I can kind of see what he was going for, but I think the mainstream that's slightly woven in there kind of takes away from that one compared to that. Like I was just fascinated. In a lot of ways, it's about Catholic guilt. It's about, because he's a Catholic in it. And you're right. Towards the end, that's the struggle he has. And again, they don't tell you. You just kind of witness it. There's nothing's obvious about it. And I was just fascinated by that. And the way that he really does struggle with the way the nun forgave those boys. And then you got the playoffs in the background that you just slowly watch this guy go insane. Some of the worst things that ever happened. It's all very stylized, which is awkward. I mean, even the nun's like hot, and it's frustrating. Like there's part of me that's kind of annoyed by that.
Yeah.
But I get it as well. I don't know. I hadn't seen a movie like this really outside of Miss 45 and maybe even the sequel a little bit. But there's some movies, but I was really fascinated, and I loved the performance so much. And all I knew about this movie was from when I was a kid, and this is a movie where Harvey Keitel shows his penis, and
one of a couple.
So much, yeah. But this movie is so much more than that.
You need to.
Movie's so much.
Zach, how long has it been since you've seen this?
Okay, I actually watched this Saturday. It had been a very long time because I watched this after I watched the Nicolas Cage one, and I think I like the Nicolas Cage one more. But I liked how weird this was. I didn't expect to see Harvey Keitel jerk off onto a car door.
That was weird.
Cry with his dick out. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff I forgot about. Like I just like it was like weird scene after weird scene. I laughed. I was into it, but it was surreal because, like I said, it was not even close to what I remembered. I don't even know what the fuck I remembered.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed it. Although I do think I'm gonna pop in the Nicolas Cage one here probably in the next couple days. I do have that. I bought that when Blockbuster was going down. You guys seen that? I think it's like I fucking forgot the name.
Port of Call New Orleans.
Yeah, I like that one too, but it's that's not Abel Ferrara though, right?
No, that was Werner
No.
Herzog.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one too, but this one has more of that. I don't know. There's just something about this one, and maybe it's just because it's fresh. I was just really shocked about how much I liked it, and I was almost worried I was gonna have to defend it against Sean the whole time.
Harvey Keitel basically inflicts himself on you in this movie, and you can't you take on him as sort of a burden. Like you can't enjoy anything that he does because he doesn't enjoy anything that he does. He's reached a point of such ludicrous excess in his life that he can't even imagine what joy is anymore, and he keeps doing more and more drugs and having more and more encounters sexually, and he cannot enjoy himself to the point where he even I think in that scene with the car where he's got the girls pulled over, it's as if he really needs them to be upset with him before he can actually reach where he needs to get to. Like that's really, it's horrible. It's a horrible thing. He's a horrible human being, and you don't feel sorry for him, but you're it's like being trapped in a room with this guy. He's right. Inflicting himself upon you, and you just have to take it in. You just have to be there for it. And it's awful, but at the same time, it's fucking fascinating because you've never seen this level of soul destroying sickness within a human being. He's complete. He has nothing left.
Yeah. And the way Abel Ferrara films all of it somehow makes it palatable, for lack of a better word. It's not, you don't like it. It's not something you're enjoying, but it's not, just gross for the sake of gross. There's a stylized vision to it. And I read an interview with him where he was like, the writers and filmmakers had to be on drugs, but the actors didn't have to be on drugs to make this movie. So then I just sit there and wonder, it just makes Keitel's performance so much more weird, knowing that the director is fucked up out of his mind and Keitel's probably sober, trying to play, and that just adds another element to it. I don't know if that's true or not,
right?
But it just makes it so much weirder. And then what's her name from Miss 45 is in it?
Zoe Lund.
Yes, she's that was an improv scene. She helped write the script, if I remember right.
Yeah, and
definitely a big fan of heroin. I believe is like she would talk about how great it was in interviews and stuff. I don't know. This is just a hell of a movie. It's something. It's something else. It's not like something you see every other day.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that quite a bit. Anything else on Bad Lieutenant?
It was a real strange cherry on the top of my Saturdays. I watched like Fast Parenting, fucking AE, and then I finished it off with Bad Lieutenant. It was a weird day. It was a really weird day.
Sounds weird.
But yeah, watching Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy, and then 10 minutes later, Harvey Keitel's having a threesome and crying. Woo!
All right. 30 years ago, Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear came out.
Yeah, it's funny. You can't deny that this is funny. It's funny. Leslie Nielsen is just he's so good at this, and as it's dumb as hell, but but he makes it work. He's just that incredibly talented, and on top of that, just getting repeatedly again for the second movie in a row, getting to see O.J. Simpson just brutalized. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add to it other than it's a funny movie. What about you, Zach? Anything special about Naked Gun 2.5 that stands out?
I don't remember exactly which one this was, but I remember watching, we watched all three constantly. But I couldn't tell you,
yeah,
they're all the same. Like, we watched those, and we had, what was it, like the Police Files? Like, we had some of that too. Like the original show or whatever the fuck. So it's like all of it just kind of is like one giant ball. I need to go back and revisit them, especially because I'm pretty sure Tina's never seen them, and we both love watching stupid shit. So I'm gonna have to show her that. I also am pretty sure she's never seen Airplane, so I got to fix that too.
And I'll be honest, I grew up with the Hot Shots movies. I know those are lesser of these three series between Airplane and Naked Gun.
Hot Shots Part 2 fucking, it still breaks me. Like, I'll still see clips on like Facebook and giggle.
Yeah. I mean, they're all kind of the same movie.
They just don't make this movie anymore. You know, they tried and they failed miserably. And something about this humor has not made it to this day and age.
I don't know. I mean, I was able to get the Not Another Teen Movie, but that was where it ended for me. I think it ended before that for you, Sean. Or you liked the scary movies, though, didn't you?
I liked the first scary movie. After that, it gets pretty bad pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The Epic movie and
right.
those are just utter garbage. And that could just be that those guys just have zero talent.
I think that's just the zero talent. I don't think there was a single thought in making any of those. I think like the closest thing to Naked Gun we have, I don't know if you guys appreciate it, but MacGruber, like I fucking love that movie. They actually just announced they're filming the Peacock series, which I forgot they were making. So we're getting more MacGruber.
Yeah, I liked MacGruber.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. That is our show. Next week, I don't know what we're going to watch for sure, but there's a whole shit ton of movies streaming. The Tomorrow War on Amazon. No Sudden Movement on HBO. Netflix has a bunch. This movie called The Eighth Night. I don't know if we'll watch it or not. Fear Street Part 1, 1984.
That's a Goosebumps thing, I believe.
Yes. R.L. Stein of some sort. Yeah.
There's one like every week for 3 weeks or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's a trilogy. And I don't know if we want to jump on that bandwagon or not.
I really don't.
That works for me. I don't necessarily want to watch it, but sometimes if you want the downloads.
Yeah.
I don't care either way, though. Hulu has
save that one for the Halloween spectacular.
Hulu's got a movie called Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. And Peacock has Boss Baby of Family Business.
Oh, I'm too excited about that one.
Yeah, I want to be all over that one. And then The God Committee as well.
Yeah.
We're flirting with the Soderbergh movie for the classic since he directed No Sudden Movement, but we haven't landed on one yet. And 30 years ago, Problem Child 2 came out. And what's the other one? Oh, Terminator 2. Judgment Day.
I can't wait to look at that one again. We've already done Terminator, so there's no real relation to a classic there that I can think of.
Yeah, unless we did Terminator again. Which I'll do whatever you want. I don't really care. Problem Child 1. Whatever. Does Linda Hamilton have any classic movies?
No.
Eddie Furlong. Yeah, so that is our we will. Let's see here. Come on, mouse, where you at? That is our show. I do want to remind you to head over to patreon.com/criticspod to give us a review or to get a whatever the word is to help support the podcast. Just go there and do that. Get a credit on the show. Or go to our TeePublic page at IHateCritics.net and click on the TeePublic link. If you want to give us a 5-star review on any of the platforms you listen to us on, you have a shot to win one of how many movies? 2, Sean?
Yeah, 2 now. Yeah, the one copy of The Unholy got taken. So
yeah, so give us a 5-star review, and we'll read it on the air. Let us know you did it, because we might not necessarily see it right away. You can email us at critics@IHateCritics.net or hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at CriticsPod. That is our show. Let's see what we got for Flick Chart, unless you guys got to go to bed.
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm already halfway in bed, so it's all good. All I gotta do is take off my mic, and I'm out.
All right. Let's see what Footshot has in store.
I apologize for my internet today. I know I've cut out of the Zoom a couple of times.
That's okay.
No worries.
Sleepless in Seattle or Speed?
Speed.
Absolutely.
Speed.
Love Speed. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, Sex and the Single Girl.
I've not seen that one.
It's our classic next week. Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake or The Great Gatsby?
Great Gatsby.
I'll go with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It is the remake. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah, I know. I Gatsby guy.
I mean,
Here's a bad horror movie.
I mean, I saw that one before I saw the original. I liked it at the time. I know it's garbage. I know it's a very stock horror film. But I don't really care about The Great Gatsby.
Vote with your heart. That's fine.
I'm going with the remake. 22 Jump Street, The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
22 Jump Street.
That's not even a question.
Yeah.
22 Jump Street.
Just fun to watch. Mangrove, Knives Out.
I've not seen Mangrove.
Knives Out, City Slickers.
Knives Out.
What'd you say, Zach?
Knives Out.
Okay.
Knives Out.
Yeah.
I had a good experience with City Slickers, but yeah, Knives Out.
But when you said it's a good movie for 40-year-old white guys, it's like, yeah. It definitely it put the experience in perspective.
Yeah.
GoldenEye, The Perfect Storm.
The Perfect Storm.
GoldenEye's the only Pierce Brosnan Bond movie.
The Perfect Storm.
I'll die on that hill.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, The Fugitive.
The Fugitive.
Yeah, The Fugitive.
Yeah.
See, now there's actual competition.
Shoot 'em up, can't hardly wait.
Shoot 'em up.
I gotta go shoot 'em up. I unapologetically love that fucking movie.
Yes, thank God.
It's so
I've
good.
taken so much crap from people over that movie.
Sin City, Basic.
Yeah, that was the Sin City.
Oh, it's Sin City. Yeah, Basic is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shoot 'em up was definitely popular in our circles in high school. Just throwing that out there.
Lara Croft, The Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, 2003, Rock and Rolla.
One movie that can make me pick Rock and Rolla.
I got no opinion.
Walking Tall, 2004, Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
I'm looking forward
Boys in the Hood.
Revisiting that this year.
Yeah.
Skeleton Lake, Red Eye.
Never heard of Skeleton Lake.
Neither have I. Titanic or Red Eye?
Red Eye. It's much, much shorter.
I've never seen Red Eye, but I'll pick it. Fuck Titanic.
I know Titanic's better. I know. I don't care.
We could make that our classic.
What, Titanic?
Yeah.
No, thank you. I don't have the kind of time.
No, we don't
Fuck
have to.
that movie,
You don't
man.
ever have to see it again. I mean, Live and Let Die.
We know the ending.
Yeah. Live and Let Die. You don't mess with the Zohan.
I hate Zohan enough that I'll take a James Bond movie over it.
Yeah, that's one of the worst Adam Sandler movies ever made. The Broadway Melody, 1929.
No.
Before I was born.
The Golden Compass or The Conversation?
The Conversation.
Okay, I don't know if I've seen that one. So
I haven't seen it.
My Super Ex-Girlfriend, Lucky Number 11.
Lucky Number 11.
Love
Great
that
movie.
Yep. I agree.
Death to Smoochie, Kramer versus Kramer.
I don't think Death to Smoochie is as good as it should be, but I'm going to take that over Kramer versus Kramer. I find Kramer versus Kramer insufferable.
I think I agree
Yeah,
with
I
you.
agree. I remember Googling it when I first had the internet. I didn't realize that it wasn't a movie about Kramer from Seinfeld Final. And I watched the trailer and I got really fucking bored and I've never seen it.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's intentionally insufferable.
Or is it just Dustin Hoffman?
But it's not a pleasant movie to watch.
Yeah.
But not in the way that, like, a Sam Peckinpah movie is unpleasant. I don't know. It's hard to... And Meryl Streep's not in it enough to save
Very
it.
true.
The Relic, Predators.
Predators.
All right. I haven't seen it, so I'll just go through those. Changeling, The Thing.
Changeling is a good movie, but The Thing is a better movie.
Yeah, the Thing all the way.
It's an iconic movie, yes. Les Miserables, 2012, The Virgin Suicides.
Les Miserables for me. I'm in the minority on that movie.
I haven't seen either, so I got nothing.
I'll go with you. I get what you're saying. And I like The Virgin Suicides, okay. The Outlaw, Josie Wales, Charlie Wilson's War.
What are you taking?
Josie Wales.
Yeah, I'll go with you. I think Charlie Wilson's pretty good though.
I know, I agree. I just I want that Clint Eastwood to, one, not be a creep, and two, just be in those movies and stay there forever.
Yeah.
The Sicilian. Go ahead.
I've never seen The Sicilian. I don't know what that is.
There's a Mario Puzo.
Oh, here we go.
Spy Kids 3D, starring Sylvester Stallone, or Empire Records.
Empire Records.
Spy Kids 3D, my man. I don't remember Empire Records.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're not Gen X. Empire Records is. Underworld 21.
I saw 21. Underworld sucks.
Yeah, I mean 21 is terrible, but Underworld is Underworld.
Yeah, there's less left.
Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. Sunshine.
Sunshine. I mean, I don't like Sunshine, but I would never want to see Final Fantasy ever again.
It's not good, man.
James and the Giant Peach. Airplane.
Airplane.
Yeah, not even close. Despicable Me 2, Tomorrow Never Dies.
I still, to this day, anytime I spill something, like if I take a drink and I spill it on myself, it's like I've got a drinking problem.
Yo. That is probably one of my favorite jokes ever. It's so good.
I was just trying to figure out, was that in Despicable Me 2 or Tomorrow Never Dies? I'm like, it's an airplane.
I'll take Despicable Me too.
I agree.
Tomorrow Never Dies was my first Bond movie. I saw that one in the theater.
I hate Bond.
I was
more than I hate the Fast movies. The Martian, Final Destination 3.
The Martian is a very good movie.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
No. I'm agreeing. I do like Final Destination as well, but it's not good. But I do say the book was 10 times better than the movie, just because the movie was PG-13, and I feel like it should have been.
Want to see Matt Damon? Revolutionary Road, Animal House.
Revolutionary Road should have been a lot better and more memorable than it is, and Michael Shannon's incredible in it. Kate and Leo are a little bit off, just not quite nailing it in that one. Animal House is, I don't know. I don't really love Animal House the way other people do. You guys decide. I don't know what to say.
I'm gonna go Animal House.
I'm just for the simple fact that I'm not as big a fan as everybody else is either, but it is more memorable. So
Yeah.
I'll go with Animal House.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, Titanic too. Let the Right One In, About a Boy.
Two incredible movies. About a Boy means more to me, so I'll take that one, but they're both incredible.
I don't think I've seen either.
Oh, Let the Right One In means more to me, but About a Boy is fantastic. Let's see here. Where's my quarter at? Which one looks better?
If you're picking posters, Zach, which one would you pick?
The Ford movie Got to Read or the...
I'll go with the right one because I do remember watching. I watched the NBC TV show once. they loosely based that off the movie, so I'll go with About a Boy. Whatever.
That works.
There we go.
True
Yay
Romance.
for shitty NBC shows.
True Romance or Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane.
Agreed.
I'll tell you what, that's not even a hard question right here. It's True Romance all fucking day.
I think it was Michael from Galesburg. He was on the episode with Citizen Kane, and then as soon as we hung up, because he didn't like it really at all, and then he started sending me messages, and he made a great point. He compared it to what's that, Jim? Avatar. Because it broke it was groundbreaking, this and that, but it's just not that great.
See, I like that guy. I like him. I agree wholeheartedly. Fuck Citizen Kane and Avatar.
And I can't argue with it because I don't think the movie itself is that. I don't know. I do like it. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of movies from that. AI, artificial intelligence, Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas, but I love both those movies.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Agreed. I'm not a huge AI fan, although I think when we did that episode, I had bad information, but I still don't like the movie. The Nice Guys, Red Dragon.
The Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys.
Batman and Robin, Star Trek Nemesis.
Oh, those are all garbage. That is just some hot fucking garbage. Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin.
That garbage is hotter, I agree. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Lost Boys, The Tribe.
I've never seen The Tribe.
Good, neither have I.
Never heard of that.
Lord of the Rings, Bewitched.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Return of the King, baby.
Top Speed, have you seen that?
No.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Again, two incredible movies. Cuckoo's Nest wins by being slightly more incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
Cuckoo's Nest, yeah.
It's a tough one. Kill Bill Volume 2. Vegas Vacation. I've never actually seen Vegas Vacation. I just know it's not good.
Kill Bill, of course.
It's not good.
You guys hear Tarantino
next to a diamond.
Yeah, Tarantino was on Mark Maron's podcast. It was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. When Bjork Met Attenborough. Have you seen that?
No. Sounds fascinating, though.
Let's get rid of both these because this is a TV show.
Yeah, that's a TV thing.
Kingdom of Heaven, Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain.
Agreed. Could call them both Kingdom of Heaven.
I haven't seen either.
You haven't seen Brokeback Mountain? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. The two anti-heroes. Which one is better? Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver or Patch Adams?
Can I just say fuck you and that would be my vote?
Yes, although you like Taxi Driver. This is definitely a good one to go out on. All right. Congratulations, Taxi Driver. You beat Patch Adams. All right.
Ranked number 550 on our list.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Zach. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
All good.
All right. We'll see y'all next week.
Man, we're all good over here.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Zach.
Thank you so much, Zach, for joining us. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, thanks for having me. Again, sorry about my shitty internet. It's been really bad lately.
I've been there too, so
I think someone's watching Disney Plus in the other room.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Yeah.